Well, my worst fear when it comes to my hair happened. I had another hair setback. This time though, thankfully it wasn't my fault. It was actually nature taking its course. Hi, I'm Leah and welcome to my channel. Here I share videos on hair and beauty to help you look, feel, and live great. If you're interested in these types of videos, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. About 6 years ago, I had a hair setback and it was caused by something called protein overload. Protein overload is when your hair has too much protein on it and it causes a whole lot of issues. I gave my hair protein overload because I was using so many hair products, pretty much almost every hair product in my hair regimen had protein in the ingredient list. By having protein overload, my hair was dry, coarse, stiff, it was breaking off. I was not retaining any kind of length. My hair was just on a downward spiral. Thankfully, I realized what it was and was able to correct it. And over the last couple of years, my hair has really started to thrive and has made a full recovery from the protein overload. Since that hair setback, I've been very watchful on what I've been using on my hair, how I've been taking care of my hair, just so that I don't have another setback of protein overload or any other kind. But despite all of that effort, I ended up having another hair setback. As I was digging into this hair setback, I realized that thankfully it wasn't my fault. It wasn't something that I did or didn't do. It was actually nature taking its course. So let me go ahead and tell you what happened. Back in December, I was washing my hair and I noticed there was a lot of hair on the floor in the shower and on the floor in the bathroom when I was drying my hair. I didn't think too much of it because I know that sometimes when seasons change, you can see a little bit more hair fall. Plus I figured my hair was probably a little confused because at that point in time, I was actually on a cruise ship. I know the water on a cruise ship isn't the greatest. And I had come from North Carolina where it was cold, gone to Florida, I was in the Caribbean. So my hair was probably like, what the heck's happening? Plus there was a lot of wind in the Caribbean when we were there on the islands we were visiting. So my hair was getting whipped around even when it was in ponytails and up. So I figured that was also kind of drying it out a bit. It was a few weeks later in January that I was roller setting my hair and I started to notice there's a little bit more hair in the teeth of the comb that I was using to smooth out my hair before I put the roller in. And I was like, okay, it's not a whole lot more, so we'll just keep moving on. Then in February, I had a wash day that really opened my eyes to the fact that this could be a potential situation. I was detangling my hair prior to getting into the shower to wash my hair, and I noticed I was having to do a lot of detangling. Like my hair was really tangled for some reason. Then I get into the shower and I washed my hair and it just wasn't feeling right using the same products I've been using for a while. My hair was also tangling up in the shower. I was noticing more hair on the shower floor. Then I get out of the shower, I have to detangle again when I'm putting the deep conditioner on my hair, and my hair just isn't feeling as soft and hydrated with the deep conditioner. I rinse the deep conditioner out, then I have to detangle again. And all the time that I'm detangling, I noticed there's like hair almost, it felt like everywhere. I don't think it was everywhere, but I had a good amount of hair like piling up as I was detangling my hair all those multiple times, which is not normal for me. The hair that was coming out wasn't just coming out a few strands here and there. It wasn't coming out in like clumps either. It was coming out in little groupings of hair strands, like maybe like 4, 5, 6 hair strands at a time, but it was multiple groupings of hair. And so I'll show you right here. This is a picture I took of the hair that actually came out and I collected. This was after I had finished washing my hair, rinsed out the deep conditioner, and was detangling my hair before I was drying it. This is about the same amount, if not maybe a little bit less. It was coming out every single time I had to detangle my hair during this entire wash day. I was freaking out. I was trying to figure out what happened. Why is this happening? Am I going to be bald headed? And I realized it's probably the result of one thing that would have been the result of me having the big C in September and then having the flu a few months later. Both times I had fevers, and that thing is telogen effluvium. Now, I realized this is telogen effluvium just because I had seen a lot of videos popping up on YouTube and people talking about it on social media, and I had done some digging into it, and knowing that I had the big C, I knew this could have been coming, but I had forgotten that it could even be a potential issue that I could run into. Now, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a hair professional, so everything that I'm gonna be telling you from this point on is stuff that I've just found from my research and things that I ended up trying and may or may not have worked for me with this situation. So I went back to those videos and articles and things that I had seen and found out about this whole thing. And basically telogen effluvium is when you have hair shedding, and that's usually caused by some kind of stressful event on the body. So that can be anything from having a high fever, having some issues with your thyroid, changes in medications. It could be having a child. So many different things can cause this to happen. Now, telogen effluvium usually lasts about 3 to 6 months. So a lot of the articles that I read that had dermatologists in it actually talking about this and saying they've seen it in their patients and what they had advised their patients to do or not to do. A lot of those articles were talking about you don't necessarily really need to do anything, because if it's normal telogen effluvium, if it's just the stuff caused by a stressful event and it's not chronic, meaning it'll last a long time, it usually just runs its course and you just go back to your life and your hair starts regrowing and you're totally fine. At first I was kind of like, okay, I don't think I'm going to do anything about it. And the reason was, I think I had a respiratory event back in the end of 2019 and I was experiencing this kind of shedding, which I didn't realize until I looked back and really thought about it. And the reason I looked back was because, oh yes, I remember I'd had a respiratory event back in that time period, but I was also going through protein overload. So I attributed to the changes in my hair, the hair shedding that I was having. I figured it was because my hair was weak and not in a good spot because of protein overload, but I think it might've been because of this. And when that happened, I really didn't do much of anything to address it. It just kind of ran its course, and I figured it could happen this time, but I said, let me go ahead, try a few things that I've seen recommended by dermatologists in these articles and see if maybe it helps me or not. At least then I will feel like I'm doing something and I'm a little bit more in control of the situation. So what I'm going to share of what I did is no way advice for you to do. It's just stuff that I did. And to be honest, I don't even know if it really helped, because at this point in time, I think I was several months into it. And I think I might've been on the downward swing of it, meaning I think I was coming out of it anyway. So I don't know that what I did actually helped. Maybe it helped me get out of it sooner. Who knows? Like I said, I wasn't being treated by any doctor or dermatologist at this point, so I can't say for certain facts. So the things that I did fell into 3 different buckets. The first bucket was I was paying more attention to what I was putting into my body. So I did things such as drinking more water on a more regular basis. I ate fewer sweets. I was eating more fruits and vegetables and more healthier foods. Also changed up the hair vitamins I was using. I'd be using some generic hair vitamins from like Target or Walmart, but I changed up to using Nutrafol. That was something that I saw some dermatologists recommend when you're having a lot of shedding, even an event like this. The second thing was I gave my hair a rest. So I did one thing where I postponed my relaxer touch-up. I ended up going 18 weeks instead of my normal 10 to 12 weeks. So I went several weeks later, like a month and a half later than I normally do. I was also doing less with my hair, meaning I was not styling my hair as much. I wasn't wearing my hair down a lot. I was wearing it up in buns and ponytails. That's helped me in the past when I was recovering from protein overload, and then also times when I'm trying to let my hair have a rest to get stronger. I was also not washing my hair as often. I typically wash my hair once a week, but I was going every 2 weeks because all of my hair shedding seemed to really be happening when I was washing my hair, or at least the majority of the hair shedding was happening was washing my hair. It was coming out during the week when I was combing my hair and styling it, which is why I was taking a break from that. But I would get in the shower. Before I get in the shower, after I get out of the shower, I was just seeing a lot of hair coming out. And so I said, if I don't do much with my hair, do less manipulation, let my hair kind of sit and rest more, then I probably won't end up having as much shedding happening, and it allows my hair to just kind of hopefully get back to normal quicker. The third thing I did was adjust my hair regimen a little bit. So I wanted to make sure I was really focusing on the moisture and protein balance, because I wanted to make sure my hair was having strength with the protein and it was as strong as it could be, but I wasn't giving it protein overload. And I also wanted to make sure that it was moisturized and soft and supple and had elasticity, and I was also balancing out that protein with the moisture. So I kept using, on the moisturizing side, all of the moisturizing hair products I've been using, the shampoos, the conditioners, and then on the protein side, I made sure that I was doing a light protein treatment or some kind of bond strengthening treatment pretty much every wash day. Now, I also did a swap of one of my moisturizing shampoos. So typically when I wash my hair, I use 2 moisturizing shampoos, one with sulfates, one without. I swapped out the one with sulfates for another shampoo that I had seen some dermatologists recommend in articles for that would help with hair loss. And the shampoo is the Brigio Destined for Density Caffeine Plus Biotin Peptide Shampoo. So it's been over 2 months, around 2 to 3 months, since I started doing all of those things for my hair. And I have to say that I feel like my hair is probably close to or right on the edge of being out of the woods when it comes to this whole setback. I'm not seeing the shedding anywhere near like I have been. There's less hair in the shower. I'm not having to go through the multiple rounds of detangling that I was having to do with my hair during this shedding episode that I was having. My hair seems to be stronger. I went and got a relaxer touch-up, which I did a video about, and you can check out. I'll link for you that video so you can see what happened during that touch-up and where I'm going with my hair. But I feel like it's in a good place. Now, can I say that all those things that I did helped me get there? Maybe, maybe not. I really don't know. Like I said, I think I was coming out of it anyway when I started doing these things, and they might have just helped me get to the end of it sooner. Now, thankfully, I didn't notice any serious thinning of my hair. I did notice my hair wasn't as thick as it usually is, but it wasn't noticeable thinning that I was having. I didn't have bald spots all over my head. So that was great. And I think if I start seeing something like that happen again, I will know, okay, we need to go to a dermatologist. We need to take this seriously. This could be happening, because as I get older, I might not be able to recover as quickly as I did this time around. If you think you're experiencing abnormal hair loss, please go and talk to a doctor, talk to a hair professional, talk to a dermatologist. They can really help diagnose exactly what the issue is and give you a treatment plan for it. So going forward, I'm going to keep monitoring my hair, and I do plan to use the Nutrafol for the remainder of the year. Then after that, I'll re-examine and see if I want to continue using it or not, just because Nutrafol is kind of expensive, but I do think that I have been seeing some good results with my hair overall since I've started using it. I think I may use up the Brigio shampoo or use it for another week or so before then I switch back to just using my regular 2 moisturizing shampoos. And when it comes to shampooing my hair, I'm easing back into doing it weekly versus doing it every 2 weeks. My hair and my scalp like being washed that often, like being washed every week. Going 2 weeks is kind of hard, but for that, I felt like it was worth it to preserve my hair and help it have some chance to actually become strong and become healthy again. So yes, I did have a hair setback, but thankfully this time it was not my fault. If you'd like to learn more about my first hair setback when it comes to protein overload, I will go ahead and link that video for you below. And if you'd like to know what the title of that video is, it is called How to Identify Your Relaxed Hair as Protein Overload and How to Fix It. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like. Also, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.